This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online cEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Welcome to Critical EDH, where the juice is not worth the squelch.
God damn it.
We'll talk about that card later and why that's our intro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got kind of an interesting week. I mean, it's I think it's always interesting turning over a new year and then coming into what feels like a new season. I know the season's already been going on for Top Deck, but yeah, we all kind of took a break for the holidays, and then there's new cards being spoiled and all that kind of stuff. What'd you guys do for your break?
Yeah. Something people don't, I don't think any of you guys know this about me, actually. I used to do like a small ramen pop-up. So I
What the
did like ramen catering for like
Who are you?
a weird guy who gets fascinated with random shit.
Okay.
And so I only do it once a year now. So I do like 3 different kinds of broth and seasoning and noodles from scratch and all the things. And I do it for New Year's. So that was our New Year's
that's
party.
gas.
Was homemade ramen.
Wow, that sounds really good.
That
Yeah, it
does
was
sound
good.
really good. I played a lot of cEDH and then spent a lot of time with my girlfriend's family, and it was fun.
Yeah, I got top 16 in our sprint league, which was cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
you did.
And I got 2 wins on Shorekai, which felt nice. So,
In the sprint league? Or just,
Yeah,
oh, you
yeah.
didn't get sick.
yeah,
Nice.
one of them was my opponents were like, "How do you win?" And I'm like, "Opponent concession." They're like, "Okay, fine." And then sometime later, they're like, "Can we concede now?" And I'm like,
Jesus
"Sure."
Christ.
Yeah.
But the sprint league was awesome. I think it was a good experiment, and I think we will probably continue to do more of those things in the future.
Yeah, I think that there's been a lot of suggestions of doing like a Fringe Fest Sprint League, which
Yeah.
I definitely think we're going to do. I just don't know when it's going to happen.
I think like
Yeah.
quarterly probably feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Quarterly is really cool. And just like the level of play in Sprint League was pretty crazy. Like those felt like all like top 4, top 16 tournament games with just
Nice.
like people you know, love, and have heard of. And it was great. I had a really good time in Sprint League.
Nice. I did not get a time to play, but
Yeah, and I think we could do like maybe a like spring break Fringe Fest or something
yeah.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
over, March or whenever whenever spring break is for people.
Dude, I'll have to re-put together Master Keys. I don't want to do that.
Oh boy. Someday we'll get you to stop,
You
but
can
not
take
today.
the
Never
boy
stop.
out of the key, but not the key out of the boy, I guess.
That
Can we
sounds
Can we
like
phrase that
harassment.
differently?
Anyway, here's the league.
Anyway, here's January League.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, we've got our January league up and running as of January 4th, so a little bit of a late start, but happy to get it up, and we've already got 350 odd people signed up, which is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
insane for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
I wonder
games
how many
are jamming.
people's like New Year resolution was play more CDH or like play in the league or something like that.
Yeah, the league seems like it's popping off. We have some good partners this month with Far North, Erie Altars. They have photos of the actual prize, the top 4 pricing down below. And then our tournament partner is a Just Jam D Grid. It's an Arizona tournament. But these are our top 4 pricing here. The Thoracle alone is just like worth
Yeah.
it to try to win this league. This thing is so gorgeous.
I love their art style. Erie is like so appropriate for their
Yeah.
handle too. Like
Yeah.
they're really good.
So I also have an altar coming from them in the box with these coming to me,
Nice.
and it's my Ska, and I can't wait to play it at Rumble.
Yeah, dude. It turned out really well. I liked the
Yeah.
photos a lot that you sent us.
He told me that he wants to send me a treasure token that's rotted fruit, and I'm like, that's so gas. It's so sick. But yeah, so those are the altars, and then we also have cash prizing and whatnot. But yeah,
We're offering a little bit of different pricing in addition to just like our standard cash, additional incentives to actually place well, and we're trying that out to see if people like that. So we're going to take the points total at the end of regular play, what we call Swiss play, and then give pricing based on that as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, and shouts to, I guess, kind of moved past it, but we didn't talk about for Sprint League, like shouts to the judges and for everyone who signed up to give such like an incredible prize pool to both the judges
Oh,
and the
yeah.
players. Like it was actually kind of insane.
Mhm.
So that was really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, these leagues would not be able to be run at all without our
No.
judging staff.
Yeah, I think we used a 60-player example, and we
Yeah.
had double that.
Yeah.
So our prize pool was nearly $2,500, and then we just split everything between everyone else. So we still have our top 16 and top 4 to play for this, but we're definitely happy to take care of our judge team and just everyone who played over the holidays.
They were talking about your pod for this, Logan, in the Dardu Discord today.
It's so
There-
crazy. I don't.
Wait, what's your pod again? It's like
Here.
pretty wild, right?
It's
I'll pull
you,
it up.
Matt, Max P, and some other person. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah, I play cEDH because it provides fun and interesting challenges, just like whatever top 16 hell pod this is.
I loved Max's response too.
Hold my beer. Jesus.
Yeah, I just said I'm going to tech in time twister so we can start over again.
What's the you play a sub game within the game, Shabraz or whatever?
Scheherazade.
Charizard.
Scheherazade, yeah.
Yeah, this will definitely be an interesting one because I don't think that anyone in this pod is playing Turbo, and I plan on playing Shorkai.
Yeah,
So-
I think Max P has started playing TNT again, and
He's back on TNT.
Yeah, that's
This is-
concerning.
The worst news I've heard all week.
Both of us are like,
It's I played a lot with Max recently actually in the league, and he was like, yeah, dude, if you look at my like elo chart, it went down when I started playing farm, and so I just went back to what I know.
That's crazy. That's like actually crazy that he did worse on farm than TNT. But
Yeah.
I mean, some people are specialists, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll try to record this game. Maybe we'll get some content out of it. It will definitely be interesting. So yeah, look out for that in the future. Otherwise, that's kind of our league stuff for right now, and we have to talk about some tournaments.
The Royal
Bro, I
Rumble.
can't wait. I'm so
I also
excited.
can't wait. I can't wait to play Sisse at Royal Rumble. Just wait for me to tutor up some Planeswalkers to win.
Yeah, bro. cEDH All-Star Amanatu.
Nicol Bolas, dude.
Dude, I can't wait to draw cards off my Ristic Study and for my game plan to just not work anymore.
This tournament is filling out pretty good, and I know that we were talking a little bit earlier, well, I guess later last year, a couple weeks ago, about how like there weren't a lot of people signed up, but I think they've roughly doubled that sign up already.
I think they're at like 140 or something like that right
Yeah.
now. So it's definitely going to hit that platinum event, which is awesome. I don't know if it's going to hit diamond, but it's definitely going to try, right? Which I'm stoked on.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 4 of the 6 of us at least are going for sure, and then the last 2 are maybes, I
I'm
think.
still a big question mark.
Yeah. And
yeah. Well, I think Logan's a maybe and Eric is probably
Eric's-
a not.
Yeah.
reaching the Bay, or is he not competing that weekend?
I
Do you
don't
know?
think Eric's going to be able to go to
Possibly,
either,
but yeah.
Yeah.
unfortunately. So we'll see. But Colorado's going to have great representation at this event.
Yeah, there's
Hopefully
like
there's
20
no
of
airplane
us.
issues on the
I think
way.
it's actually 20.
or are seen as dead. Yeah.
So crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend.
I will also say, like, I looked through like the roster of people that have signed up for this event, and it is crazy.
Oh, it's disgusting, dude.
There is going to be some killers that like don't make top 16 because there's too many of us, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's gonna be crazy.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know,
Hey, Max
of the
P's
100
going.
people registered, it's like 50 of the 100 top elo probably already. It's like something fucking crazy.
Yeah. And including some people from Europe that are also traveling that are not in
Yeah.
the ELO top 60 or top 50, but are also insane good players.
Shaka's going.
Yeah.
Turtle
dude, I don't
Pod's
wanna
gonna be
lose to a
there.
16-year-old. I'm not ready.
Dude, it's just the best deck.
Watch out for Turtle Pod. He's scoping out March Meltdown.
He is coping. I can't wait for March Meltdown.
Oh, Trevor is the Brea specialist, I think.
That sounds right, yeah.
And it's like
Matt Hayes
actually
is
Brea.
going.
It's not
The Matt
farm
Hayes
Brea.
will be there.
The Matt Hayes is going.
Hazen's getting on a plane. Hazen
Colorado,
doesn't fly.
Colorado.
Hazen's
Yeah.
getting on a plane.
But yeah, the turnout of this event should be really, really great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Dude.
there will be plenty of great stories and content to come out of
Why
it.
is Nicholas Kenny always showing up to these tournaments, having not told any of us he's showing up to these
No,
tournaments?
no. He actually told me. So this is like in his hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like was gonna be down there to like hang out with
Funny.
family, and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to that. And we're like, wait, so is everyone from Colorado?
Dude, because he just showed up at Fishbowl. I'm like, what?
I was
Why?
like,
Yeah, actually, I think it was Nick that I saw on the plane. Not on the plane, but like we
Oh.
were at the airport leaving Colorado together. and we took
That's
two different planes. And I was like, "Wait, I'm going out there early. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm meeting family out in like somewhere else in SoCal." And I was like, "Oh, that's dope."
What I want from Top Deck is I want the crit league view of any tournament. So when I browse this list, I want to be able to see every single person that's signed up for the crit league in this, because I know there's a ton.
That would be gas.
Yeah, and of course Ian's going.
Yep.
Gordon's
Tony
going.
is like the Rogfrast administrator. Really cool dude.
Kevin Tran
is he playing
is going.
Chatterfang or is he playing Rogsai?
No idea.
Oh, I'm assuming he's playing Rogsai. He's either doing that or Elsha.
Sure.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
I'll
said
let
he
him borrow
retired
farm.
Chatterfang.
I'll let him borrow farm.
And Fiesta is going, who is like super active in our Discord and has never done like a big event before, which is cool.
Nice.
The Drakes,
The Drakes are
Duncan.
going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be
Isn't
an awesome event.
Sereno's
best.
coming, right? Tino's coming out.
I think so.
I think Tino's coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Duncan, the arguably the best Rogsai pilot in the world, will be there.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Speaking of events in January, Cosmic Crown Championship is coming up.
Your cat's tail just got so focused on.
He just wants to hang out with the boys.
Dude, she misses this lap for the actual live episodes.
True.
Yeah. This event is in Lompoc, California. I don't quite know where that is. Does anyone know?
No idea.
I think it's close to San Francisco, but I'm not 100% sure.
Dude, the after party's on site. That's kind of sick.
This is a hosted by Daryl. He's like a Magda player. I've gotten to play with him a few times and just like a super sweet dude. I got to cook him on Gwenum, which felt real good. But yeah, I mean, this is it's like the California event that's coming up here very soon. Basically, every good player from California is going. I think like Zach Adler's going. Basically, the entirety of the Southern California group is going.
Yep. Plus comedian.
I think Glacial City might be going. But yeah, I mean, it's going to have some pretty good competition, and I hope it does well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's part of the California League too for like the roll-up points they're doing for that whole circuit. Dude, it's so crazy, right? We have this, then the same weekend as Rumble, we have Breach the Bay, and then I think the next week after that, there's another 10K, and then there's like it's
well,
nonstop.
And Decatur is this weekend. Yeah, Decatur's coming up this weekend, right? Or maybe it's the same date as the Cosmic Crown?
No, it's this weekend. Speaking of where we're at in the meta right now, what do you guys think about this DEF CON meter right at 3.5?
Austin, you've put this really well to me recently, so I'd let you answer here.
I do truly think that like people's first push, like the first presented push is on turn 3, right? But most of the time people are talked out of it and been like, hey, like, no, it's not time to go. And so you're not actually seeing the real first push until like turn 4 a lot of the time. But it does seem like the format's slowing down, and that might change because of a card we're seeing come out soon. But right now, I do think that turn 3 is the turn that people are starting to be a little scared of, and we're seeing a lot more players hold up interaction for that turn and not tapping out. So I don't think like people can go for as unprotected wins on that turn like they used to, which it's feeling very responsible right now, which is nice.
Yeah, I think the Sprint League might have been a microcosm, but I saw a lot of like 4, 5, and 6s turn-wise in the Sprint League, but that was also like people were taking it really seriously, playing really cautiously. In general, I feel like our locals are still turn 4-ish. Like, but we also don't have a ton of turbo, like true turbo.
Yeah, I think that like, I mean, I got this weekend because I just got Roth Oracled on turn 2 or something like that, and that made me mad. I was like, come on, man. Like, what the hell? Like,
I got by Ral because Daniel won that whole event on Friday. And just rallied his way through, but we lost on turn 2.
Yeah, I played Daniel on Saturday and kept a 3 that was just a land fish and something else, and then we just like got to the point where Josh could put a Rule of Law into play, and we're like, all right, Daniel, you're not a player anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually not a player anymore. And he's like, I can't win this game, so I'm only offering draws at this point. And I was like, that makes sense.
I will say I've been not exclusively playing Shortkai since the Fringe Fest, but I've been playing it a lot, and I played it in locals on Friday, and I've talked about that a little bit. And Tim was playing the deck and also won a tournament on the deck. I just don't feel like there's a lot of punishment for not taking your time, but also just like not presenting a win on turn 2 right now. And even like on turn 3, if I'm presenting a lot of value on turn 3, that's not a win attempt necessarily, but it's very hard for me to lose the game. So
Yeah.
just kind of feels good right now.
I feel like Shortcut 2 is one of those decks that like almost has the time effect where like you're dead way before you know you're dead. Like it's you're
Yeah.
dead long before the win is on the stack, and then you just have to sit there and die slowly.
Bro, can we talk about the game that we played on Friday, Logan, where you somehow almost brainwormed Steven into getting your Hullbreaker to resolve and not die?
Okay, honestly, it should have resolved. It should have resolved because I literally gave him carte blanche to use my Hullbreaker however he wanted or not at all because it is a May.
Yeah.
So like how do you ever lose to that?
No,
Like you
dude.
just don't, right?
Even then, like I told him exactly what I was going to do, which was Orange Chant you and then Red Blast his Hullbreaker to Oblivion. I was like, we just can't let him have it. Period.
And we
The
drew
end.
the game, right?
What?
We drew the game, right?
We did draw the game, yeah. That's
Right.
unfortunate.
So like I also just feel like the deck can't lose. It like
yeah.
unless I'm playing like really poorly or just have really, really bad luck. That's one of the strengths of the deck is the floor is like you draw the game.
Yeah. I think that there was a very early Grafdigger's Cage played in that game, and it made me mad.
My
Because I was
round
like,
one on
if I just had Teferi, come on, let me have Teferi.
No.
Fine.
There was a very, very interesting part in that game where I was like, hey, Josh is definitely going to win the game. I have one answer, and it's Teferi. Are you guys allowing this? And Logan's like, no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, do you have an answer? And he's like, I guess. He just sends a Psych Rift at a Devoted Druid. And I was like, all right, well, I don't have to play Teferi then.
My round one on Friday was Josh and David on Magda. And so Raul and I just kind of sat down and looked at each other like, okay, we're not winning this game because Josh landed a turn 1 roll of Law and seat 1. And it's like,
Jesus.
cool, bud.
I think there's just it's strange because the deck plays a lot more interaction, but regarding to like the speed of where things are at right now, Vrogsai is still incredibly fast, but if people are playing more responsibly, Vrogsai gets stopped on turn 2, and then the game shifts into mid range naturally, and there's just not a lot of Vrogsais floating around. There's a few Rowls, but I think Rawl is just it's a very feast or famine deck, and you can feast on it for sure, and it does great. But I'm not seeing a lot of Otali locally anymore.
I'm so
sure
happy that that's like started happening because I fucking hate that deck.
Same, bro.
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's really good for cEDH, especially with the new cards that are coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the meta feels incredible as a whole. Like, I think the pacing is really good. Basically, everything's viable.
Yeah, I
Within
do think that we're
reason.
like also like somewhat biased because of the Denver meta though. Like
Fair.
we do heavily lean mid range, and like from what I understand, there, like Southern California, from what I have heard, is still speeding up. Like it's sped up quite a bit, and I think that like not Pacific. I think the Northeast has also like sped up a little bit, but not a lot.
Pacific Northwest is very much like Denver. It's a very mid-range meta.
What do you think that we've just gone through those like phases before everyone else has? Because
Sure.
we were very fast.
Yep. I think that's true because even our locals were very fast. Like when I was playing John Dargo, that was actually a thing that could happen during that time, right? Like, and now there's counter spells for turn 2 every time. Like you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I eat that deck for lunch with this thing, man. Like it's not a good feeling.
We're also just not seeing a lot of turn 2 Necros because people just immediately flash a piece of interaction. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
I'll go get a Ristic Study. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, how many times at locals where Jack's like, I have a turn 2 Necro. Does anyone have a reason for me to not do it? And then 3 people go, yeah, here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm not making any claims that like we're at the forefront of where the meta's going, but I do think that in some cases we've experienced these like when things are shifting to turbo quickly, right? We go through that turbo shift fast and then recover from it even faster.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other metas, because they might not see as many players or as much variability or just people playing as much, they take longer to go through these shifting and these phases.
Yeah, I agree. I also do think that like we have a knack for mid-range here. Like that is just something that most people enjoy here. And like the fact that we weren't there for a little bit, people are like, all right, how do we get back? How do we get back? How do we get back? Like I want to be home, you know? And it was just like, oh, people just had to play a little bit more responsible and put a little bit more interaction in their deck, and surprise, like that's what happened is we went back to mid-range. Right.
I mean, our format is incredibly self-corrective, right? And I think that's a really positive thing. And people, it's interesting to me whenever I hear people talk about mid-range hell, like those games largely are more enjoyable. Like, sure, you might draw more of them, but they're games.
Yeah.
Like they're real games with a lot of complexity and skill expression and politicking and all the things.
Mm-hmm. I also do think that, and this is, I'm not trying to like glaze Josh at all, but like having a dedicated stacks player in our format, like in our meta, where people like know you will see them in Swiss.
Yep.
You're like, oh, we can't just full send Turbo because I will just lose every game to Josh.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's one thing to be a dedicated stacks player. It's another thing to be a dedicated stacks player who actually wins games. Like you,
exactly.
You can't let that deck do what it wants to do, because you just die.
Dude, I'm a 0 time activation guy, bro.
I think broadly we're just a 0 activation period meta, like Magda. Nope.
Nope. You're not allowed.
The only activations that get through are Thrasios and like maybe Fairy Mastermind.
You can have one Sisay activation.
No.
What if it's not Chowder? Would you allow one Sisay activation?
I don't know. Absolutely.
Go get your Mopal, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, get Mopal. I'm fine with it. Sure. Yeah, I think it's good to keep an eye on this type of thing. And again, this is just like our feelings, and we're all, the 6 of us talked about this beforehand, and we're all kind of in the same feeling of like, yes, the needle's moving a little bit more towards the slow side, but that doesn't mean that we're not having these spiky wins or turn 2 wins aren't possible, turn 1 wins aren't possible. Of course they are. But I think overall the feeling is that like things are starting to settle a little bit more towards the mid-range.
Yeah, I also think, and I've been saying this for a while, that like it feels like you should be playing a deck that is dedicated in the mid-range plan, but if you see a certain pod, that you need the option to be able to just win it very quickly, right?
Yep.
And like you need to be able to mulligan down to a Necropotence because you know that the Magda and the or like the Dargo is not going to stop you. Yep. Because you're like, all right, sick, like I'm just going to go faster than you. Good luck. And that's why I'm playing the deck that I'm playing right now. But I think that like in general, that's what feels really good right now.
I mean, like Jason, Jackson, and I even retooled Wrongside, and I think the deck is still very real and actually in a very, very, very good spot.
Did you put Necropotence in here yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's not on Nas, but it is on Necro.
Jax was playing wrong the same weekend as the last Fight Club in Foco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And red blasted my Crom and then convinced Aang to misstep my Sentinel while he had heuristic studies. I'm like, well, brother, we lost already a long time ago. Please let me have my shitty draw engine.
Logan, are you excited to take out Defense Grid from this deck?
We can talk about it, but I don't know. I think there's some aspect that I do. I still like Defense Grid because it is slightly easier to cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably going to come out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wonder for what. Hint.
We'll talk about it.
Wrong feels great. I think. I mean, I haven't played it in a minute, but I think. Oh, you weren't on Counterbalance.
Yeah. I just saw that Counterbalance is
It's here. Yeah, Counterbalance. I mean, it is enchantment tribal, right? Like, I think that's one thing we joke about a lot in this deck is just big, powerful enchantments.
Dude,
and
could you imagine having like 2 Ristics and 2 Counterbalances? And you're like, all right, sick. Here, I'm gonna trigger Counterbalance.
Ristic
Counterbalance.
Counterbalance.
Draw. All right, here's a second Counterbalance. You're just like, no, what have we done?
And I think also I was not on Commandeer before.
You were when I played it.
I think you were on Commandeer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple changes, and you can go back through the history and check it out. But I still think that, despite me not playing it for a little while, I think the deck is extremely well positioned, especially as we start to shift down a little bit. And like
Also, I
Austin
think
said, you have the
Scott might be new in it.
Scott was in it when I played it too.
no, as in,
Oh, really? Okay.
but like you have the option of going fast,
Yep.
and then the backup plan of overwhelming value. All right, we wanted to talk about this new website. Austin, you wanted, and Jordan, do you guys want to give an intro on this?
I think
Yeah.
Jordan knows a little bit more about it than I do. I think you've
Yeah, I'm
tinkered
happy
around with
to.
it a lot. So
Yeah, go for it.
I want to make sure I get their name right, so I'm pulling up Discord. Sammy is the developer behind this, and they reached out to me, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, and they were like, "Hey, I don't want you guys to talk about this on tabs yet, but I do want you to be aware of it." And so this is a new tool backed by the TopTech API that tries to kind of do what the I think it's Datadog is the Twitter project that like tweets about certain cards that are present in deck lists. So it tries to do the same thing, but it also does like player analysis. Data, yeah.
Like, you know, a tog,
like
the card.
Psychotog.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it tries to do a similar thing, but it also does like stuff like player stuff, so you can go look at like how much better Jason is than you at the game in like a
And it's
very
a
different
lot.
way. It's like 3 times better than everyone else. The conversion score like shouldn't be legal.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing about it, I think, if I can hijack screen share from you.
Absolutely,
Logan.
go for it.
Screen allow. All right, let's see. Yeah. So you can do, I think the most powerful thing that this does, and let me make my screen not the 48-inch, is if you go over to analyze, I've saved a couple, but like you can do individual analysis on your deck list versus like what the average meta for that list is. And so like when I ran this search before, something that I was on that like no other deck was on really was Lotus Cobra. And like Lotus Cobra had a 7% higher win rate than decks that weren't running Lotus Cobra on Rockdrass. And then you can like challenge some assumptions, right? So if you go like Displacer Kitten actually has like a kind of not important win rate variance in the deck. It's minus 0.28%. And then Breach 2, right, is like wins 1% fewer games than an all Simic Rockdrass. So it's really cool. I think there's a lot of potential here. You can do individual tournaments. You can do individual commanders. And this page, you know, kind of irons out to be equivalent to EDH Top 16. But when you click into the individual commanders, it'll give you like a card breakdown as well as like who's doing what with it and all of these things. So I think that the UI is really clean. I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of good data-backed decisions in here. And like, I think Verdict is still out a little bit on how impactful data-backed decisions are in our format specifically versus other Magic formats. But just having the option is something we've never really had before, especially in a way that like is just accessible to whoever wants to be doing it. And so I think it's a really cool tool. Sammy was kind enough to, you know, gift all of us subscriptions to it and to play with it. And I think there's a lot of potential to make it really great. So go check it out.
Yeah, I think there's just like any more tools, right? Like any tools to make us have more information and like anything to help us get better at the format, to like make us more like fundamentally good players and have our information as strong as possible is good for us, right? And like the more tools that get announced and developed like this, the better.
I haven't played with it, but I do know there's a feature. Yeah, this is a weird one. It only does top deck URLs or plain text for your deck list, which is like probably a feature request we can make.
Oh, it should like look at Moxfield.
Yeah.
Logan, I think you're muted.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, great. So if I pull my top deck from
Fringe.
From Fringe, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, let's try that real quick.
But you can also do, and I haven't played with this at all, but you can do package comparisons. So you can say, hey, I want to look at these 5 cards specifically and compare it to every other deck with that commander and see like what happens when you swap those 5 cards in and out. So like if you do the whole Breach package versus just Underworld Breach by itself, like there's some pretty cool stuff you can do.
Give me a second. I want to see if I can export this. Copy plain text. We'll do it the hard way.
It also, this is the problem with demoing in real time.
That's fine.
It doesn't recognize alternate printings. So if you have your Cavern of Souls as like Glittering Caverns, it won't know what that card is.
Oh.
But that's like an easy fix, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Optimized, bro.
Dang. Hey, look at this. And people were giving me shit for my deck list. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, like 13% higher win rate with Coveted Jewel is kind of crazy.
I just wanted to play that card so bad, and like, you know what? It felt good. Orm's Chant, hey, that's a good
Dude,
card.
hey, fucking, I love that card so much. Consider cutting. I think that's really interesting to like not be on Tabernacle and Shorkai is kind of odd to me. Like
Yeah.
the deck
I'm
literally
on
doesn't
Weathered
play
Wayfarer
creatures.
now. I'm on Weathered Wayfarer now because of
Are you
Tabernacle.
really?
Yeah.
That's
kind of gas,
wild.
actually.
Yeah, it's
Like what's
just
it to
being
get?
able
Like
to
Otawara to hand?
yeah, you can every turn you can get a land basically because you're never
Dude,
going to
just
surpass
wait
someone
until,
else's land drops.
Yeah.
Just wait until Academy gets unbanned and that card's stocks go through the roof.
It's never
bro.
happening. I'm sorry to say.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see the basics video? Pigeon put it on his bingo sheet.
No, really.
Yeah, Pigeon
Oh,
because
boy.
and he's like, look, this is never gonna happen.
Yep.
But I've been
If it
playing
did.
I've been playing the Vintage Cube a lot, and this card is fun as shit. I want it in cEDH. It would break the format. I want it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy looking at like Isochron Scepter is a 96% play rate, and you don't have it in the deck. But
Where
I'd
is
be
it?
curious, like,
Really?
yeah,
Isochron
So-
Scepter is terrible. And
go to
Tim and I
Missing
talked about
Staples.
this. Like, it's
I
really
think-
bad.
I mean, like the idea is that you're just like on Dramatics Rev and you just win with it, but like I don't know. That's like very 2000.
That is the idea,
20
but then you have
cEDH,
to
right?
tutor both of those cards, and they have to be in your
Yeah.
hand. And Isochron Scepter is very bad. If
Go
you
to
can-
No, dude, have you ever-
Missing
have you ever-
Staples.
Wait, hold on. Have you ever put an Orm Chant on Isochron Scepter? Because that shit is really fun.
Well, I mean, with Unwinding Clock, right? Like, sure, you can
Yeah.
do stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but then like, if I'm able to assemble that, I don't know. I should be just winning.
There's a lot of really cool things that people used to do in Legacy with Scepter. Like Scepter Chant used to be a deck because like people couldn't attack with their goblins because you just like 3 mana because you can still kick
That's-
cards from your Scepter.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause-
And so you
cast.
just like against goblins, you just Scepter Chant them,
Yep.
and they're like, yeah, you can't do anything. You like just scoop because you can't win this game.
I like the UI of this and just
Yeah.
kind of how clean it is. I'm curious about like some of the stats and like how it's used, but yeah, I mean, I think I'll have to take some time and dive into this. I know that you guys have already looked at it a little bit more than I have, but overall, it seems like it's definitely headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really cool tool. It's tough too though because you can't isolate certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sam Black's like the only person running Lotus Cobra and Rogthras. Like at the time that I was doing my assessment on the deck, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, of course this has a higher win rate because like the dude is the one running the card.
I do think that there is some like I don't even know how you would even get this to work, but like when Glarb was popular, there was like 4 versions of Glarb. Like
Sure.
very distinct versions of that deck. And you're just like, okay, like how do you input your list and then be like a lot of these like stats like almost don't matter. Not necessarily don't matter because you're obviously it'll tell you if
Right.
you're playing the correct version of the deck. But
Yeah. Well, I think it takes each individual card and then adds up the like plus or minus win rate from it. And
right,
then,
right.
you know,
You'll just
so
see
like
a
one
wider
Doomsday
thing-
would be like a negative 30% win rate, right? Because
Yeah.
that card is trash.
But like you also see the same thing with like Sisay, right? Like if you were to put Sisay in like any
don't know.
chowder
You'd
list
have to
or
try it.
traditional
You'd have-
Sisay,
Yeah.
like it would be like, oh yeah, like you're missing all of these cards, and you're like, yeah, that's intentional.
Yeah, but go check it out. You can do 3 analysis a month, I think, for free or something like that. And there's lots of other tools, even if you don't use the
Mm.
analyze. So it's
Yep.
it's cool stuff.
It's really cool, really good stuff.
Alrighty, moving on. We had some interesting threads on Reddit, and I know it's been a little while since we've covered some Reddit threads, but I do think it's important to keep touch on what other people and other communities are talking about in cEDH. I know that Reddit is, as far as tournaments go, not the highest quality level player hangs out on Reddit, to be kind, but I do think that like there's a lot of new people coming to the format and going like, I'd love to talk about cEDH or I want to get into it, that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
it's always good to keep an eye on those sorts of conversations. So this thread came up and someone's looking for just like a way to get in, what decks are good to start with. And they've been a long time EDH player. And the top answer was Blue Farm. And I just like, I don't think it is.
I think that's incorrect. I don't want to be that harsh about it. I just think it's the wrong recommendation.
Yeah, I agree.
Blue Farm is as powerful as it is because is inherently so flexible. And when you're new to the format and you don't understand what that flexibility grants you, I think it's actually a problem.
Yeah, I do think that this question is like hard to answer in general, just because like it really depends on someone's experience with Magic, right? Like if they are coming from being a tournament grinder, like a 60 card tournament grinder, then like we did see Koval do exactly this, right? Where they picked up Blue Farm and then crushed a bunch of events and was like, yeah, I'm just one of the best players at cEDH. But in general, if you're coming from Commander and then coming to cEDH, I agree. I don't necessarily think that Blue Farm is one of the decks that you should be learning on. I think it's a deck that you should learn, but not learn on.
If you're talking about Bosch and Roll, the man is used to winning.
Yeah.
And he's used to playing a lot of the combos and the cards that are seen in the format in other formats like Vintage, Legacy. There are other Eternal formats, just like cEDH and EDH, right? If you're coming from standard EDH and you're used to like mono green ramp and swinging with big creatures and playing dinosaurs and stuff like that, you got to learn somewhere. But giving someone the top deck of the format that, again, like you said, is just the most flexible and contains the most options. And I know that when I, not to throw Jordan under the bus, but when I handed Jordan Farm, he's like looking at the card and he's like, I know what these cards do, but like, what do I play?
Yeah.
And he's like, I have 2 mana and I have 9 cards in hand, and all of them are 1 or 2 mana. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, dude, it was really overwhelming, and I actually like actively disliked Farm. I think starting with Farm is like a pretty good recipe for not necessarily enjoying the format if you're newer to Commander or to Magic, because it carries with it this reputation. It's like, oh, I'm playing the best deck, I should just like do well with it. And it's like it's not particularly easy.
And if you don't do well with it, there's
Yeah.
ramifications for like, oh, I'm supposed to be winning and I'm not. Like, am I just bad, or is the format not for me?
You also
Totally.
like just can't hide in a pod, right? Like when you're on farm, people are like, enemy number 1. Like, no. Like, no matter what, you're like, you either have the answer or are the problem, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't necessarily know if, like, you as someone that's, like, learning cEDH should be put into the position of having that much, like, quote-unquote power, right? But what would you guys recommend as, like, a deck to learn the format?
Yeah, we were talking before the episode started a little bit. Like, I think Wrong is a good choice because it employs similar play patterns to Farm, but limits your options a little bit more. And it's a control deck that teaches you interaction points really well. I think if you want to maintain the like creature side of things, I think any of the Cradle Farm decks will scratch a similar itch. But I do think that those aren't easy to play.
They're not forgiving. You have to produce a lot of mana, and then you're going to feel like you're dirtling a lot and not getting anywhere. Rogthras, we all kind of naysay it, but it is a hard and complicated deck.
Yeah.
It's not defined, like you can't just Thassa Decon in Rogthras, right?
Eric put it really well because Ya's playing Rogthras now, and then obviously Eric and I both play it with some regularity. And Eric was like, playing Rogthras is like trying to resolve a second mulligan in real time, because like as you're spinning, you're like, oh fuck, I don't know if I want that or not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, that can be fairly difficult if you don't understand the deck or the pod yet.
I will say there's some things about Rogthras that I like for new players though, because the deck just like keeps fine hands, right?
Totally.
And like that is something that like you get taught in like normal EDH. It's like, oh, this has like lands and spells. Like that's a thing that people say. And Rogthras, like those are very keepable hands. Like it's like, oh hey, like this has, I don't know, it kind of does stuff, right? And like most of the time, that's all you want the deck to do is do stuff. But I do think that some type of control deck is the way to learn the format.
Like Malcolm Vile or not? Malcolm Kedis might be a decent option.
Actually, your original saying, Malcolm Vile, I think is actually a really good choice. Like it teaches you the Grixis core, right?
Yep.
And it also just has a 1-card win con, right? Like it teaches you like, oh hey, like this is it has a game plan, and it teaches you like if you find Glinthorn, try to win the game,
like
right?
Malcolm Vile, but you remove Necropotence.
Yeah, it's true. But I think like teaching someone the Grixis core while having another 1-card win condition is not a bad idea.
I think Esper is probably a really good choice as well. because you can have very protected Thassa, and Tivit's probably the obvious choice because you have Thassa Decon and obviously Tivit and Time Civ, and you'll stumble your way into those wins, and it doesn't really have a complex game plan. It's make mana, draw cards, and then resolve your win con.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that like learning the format on a quote unquote like control deck is the best way to like put yourself into a good position to learn the format fastest, because you're just gonna like, oh hey, like that was my piece of interaction that I needed to hold. You're just like putting yourself in the gym to realize like what can and cannot resolve and like how to navigate those situations.
I also used to carry, sorry Jordan, I also used to carry a very basic Kinnan list with me, where it was neither big flips nor was it like the no bad cards. It was basically combo Kinnan, where it was find a way to make infinite mana and then you will win the game, I promise you. It had like Walking Ballista and stuff like that in the deck, where it's trying to make infinite mana, and once you get there, it's like, okay, well that was the hard part, and then now winning is the easy part.
Yeah. I actually think a hybrid Kinnan is a good choice as well. I wanted to, like, my gut reaction, if it's a commander player, was to think about like decks that rely on the commander to have that synergy aspect. But I actually think like the commander synergy decks are some of the hardest to play at like a really high level.
Yeah.
Like Tim Nadargo is going to kick you in the dick if you're just getting started in the format.
Oh, for sure.
Ral is going to have,
Dude,
have a
Dargo
very
math,
bad time.
Can you imagine Dargo math and someone's just like, huh? And you're like, yeah. See, like it pays for the commander tax itself, and you can loop it infinitely. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And it actually discounts past that weird stacks piece that you're thinking about, and it doesn't matter because of this. It's stupid. Like,
yeah.
Oddly enough, and by no means am I saying this is a good deck and you should play this in tournaments, but I do think like semi-blue is an easy conversion from playing like casual EDH to playing something like way more powerful. Again, I don't necessarily know if it's like good.
Those decks like semi-blue and like Atali, people suggest them all the time because you're like, oh, well, you just cast spells and you just win the game. Those are going to be such a flash in the pan of that player's experience of cEDH, because they will maybe get hooked onto the format, but they're not going to actually like learn really anything from those experiences, I don't think.
Sure.
Whereas
I think
you'd have to like develop a almost like an intro cEDH deck. You kind of need like here's a deck that teaches you how to Thassa Decon. Maybe that deck is like, I don't know, Talion. Or Yuriko or something. And then here's a deck that's like Breach, and you can learn Breach. And then here's a deck where you can make infinite mana and play a big stack. I don't know. It's hard. This format is really hard to get into.
Yeah. But I do think that that's like something that we as community members or like community leaders need to try to help, right? Like I don't know what that even looks like, but
like these responses, like Kinnan, it's easy to pilot and flip for big boys, like
which is like objectively not how Kinnan plays.
Blue Farm, the Honda Civic that somehow does everything, is a horrendous analogy. I
kind of like it though. I like it.
That's what I'm gonna say when I'm sitting across from a Blue Farm. Yeah, that'll really make them the enemy at the table.
That old Civic.
I mean, like, what about like Godo? We don't see that deck anymore. That deck is like, you get to play with a lot of powerful cards, and then you have a very simple game plan of counting to 11.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if like Godo is something people should learn the format on, because I like going back to like your point of them not really like learning anything. I don't think Godo really teaches you very much.
I was playing with some friends this weekend who are like trying to come over from casual, and one of them plays Atali, and he's like, yeah, I play Atali because it's the only deck that makes sense to me. And then we get into the stack of Atali with 4 clones on the stack and 6 triggers on each clone, and I'm like, this is what you signed up for, actually. Like this, winning with this deck is actually really complicated, and you need to know the cards that you're copying or stealing to actually care about what you're doing. And somehow at the same time, you don't learn anything useful.
True.
But I also like fucking hate the dinosaur, so maybe I'm the wrong person to ask for that one.
Yeah. What about like I think this is the last suggestion I'll give, but another Esper option would be like Malcolm Timna.
I don't hate Malcolm Timna. I think it's like a pretty good deck to learn on. because like you have the essential things in your command zone, which is make mana and draw cards, right? And like yeah, it's a little bit of a slower deck, but you'll at least like learn the pace of cEDH and what decks are trying to do and what they're not trying to do. Because like the deck doesn't need to teach you how to mulligan very well, other than like because it has these like, essential pieces in the command zone. So I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think we all have the responsibility as cEDH players, at least to some extent, to be able to teach someone that is interested in the format. Like I would just love for everyone to have like one deck or one thing they can show someone that is like interesting about our format and say like, I understand if you don't think that our format's that great, but if you like this aspect of EDH, maybe you'd like this, or maybe, check out this cool thing that we get to do that is maybe frowned upon in your format. I think just kind of having the avenues and like starting to think about these things as cEDH players, it is very helpful to the growth and sustainability of our beloved format.
When I played casual at weekly game nights, I remember like the games that people ended the most excited about were like, oh my God, that interaction was crazy. And then we talked about this thing and then you countered that thing. And like, it's like, brother, what if every game was like that? Like, that's what you're actually wanting. And obviously there's like the meme about casual players, like you don't get to play counter spells because I just want to do the thing. But I don't think that's actually what most people want. People want that like puzzle to solve.
Dude, when I used to play casual, I used to be such a cop, dude. I used to be such a cop. I like every deck that I had, it had to have blue, and I was like, no, I'm gonna say no to you, and like you have to accept it. Like, and I do get it, because like then people like are in a puzzle and they like don't just get to play solitaire, and I do think that people enjoy that experience.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, I pulled up Farm, and if anyone can tell me like why every single card is in this list, and I've also made agonizing changes, which were like I think 3 cards from my
Rog's
previous
not in there
iteration.
anymore.
But like, if you can do that and be like, okay, that's why, then maybe you can teach someone Farm, especially if they're new. But it's just not gonna happen. Like the deck there's just too much.
Dude, yeah. I'm looking at your list now, and I'm like kind of surprised by some of the stuff that you have in here.
Okay, like what?
I'm not as surprised by Ska because that's been like I think that card makes a lot of sense. It's
cards bonkers.
Its floor is your Dark Ritual's free, or your Fluster Storm is free. Its ceiling is here's 37 treasures for my brain freeze, which is fucking stupid. And then you have Facebreaker to go use all your treasures to see your whole deck. Like it's just it's really good.
So Ska, like I was not a believer of Ska in a lot of decks, right? But Shaka, I had a conversation with them, and they're like, and I think actually Jace was in this conversation as well, and like reinforced the fact that it's like, oh yeah, Ska is like, I was comparing Ska and Culling Ritual because I was like, oh, these are just like mass mana generators, right? And Jace and Shaka were both like, yeah, but like Culling Ritual is a card that like literally is not allowed to resolve, and Ska basically reads uncounterable.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, yeah, this is not a conversation anymore. Yep. It's either both or just Ska, right?
And then Ska makes mana at any time.
Yeah.
And if you get any amount of card advantage and you start casting spells on the stack, you just have this ever-flowing well of mana.
It can also just randomly kill somebody.
True.
Like
True.
if you Fluster Storm go to combat, there like are worlds where someone just dies.
Yeah. I've said many times on this show that I've like never felt more powerful than when I had like Glarb, Necropotence, and Counterbalance. But when you have Ska and Kinnan, it's close. It's real close.
Yeah, I'm also on Yogswill now.
I was surprised by Yogswill. That was the one as you were scrolling that I wasn't expecting to see here.
It's second breach, and it's like
good.
Sure.
Fine.
It enables turbo wins a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm on S-words now.
S-words?
I remember, I think it was when I was playing Top, you responded to some message that I sent, and it was just like, yeah, I keep that Fang on me, and then just did Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah. And you're like, oh no, that's not good.
What'd you cut for swords?
But see, like, that's the thing. You look at the list, and you're like, what card did you cut? Like, I don't see anything missing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the recent history...
There's a trap in here.
Yeah. Yep. These are the 5 big changes. No snapback, no Jessica's Will.
Oh, you cut
DRC,
snapback. That's
Flare,
interesting to me.
And I mean, Snapback's a turbo card, and I don't know. I kind of don't want people. I don't want to bounce people's stuff. I want to just kill it and be done with it.
Yeah.
It's fair. I like
So-
Snapback's ability to convert like that extra free spell that you can offer.
Yeah, I
But
have that.
you
It's called
have-
Gitaxian Probe. Yeah, there's plenty of free and cheaply costed
Yeah.
spells in the deck, and
Fair.
now we have Stormkiln as well, which makes kind of things
So
free.
stupid. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's
That's
a
so
little bit
true.
about farm.
Get probe, offer your get probe, make 4 treasures,
Dude,
call it a day.
This is okay. I had a game in locals like 3 weeks ago where I had Scott Kinnan and there was an opposition agent in play, and I literally cast a Worldly Tutor, and they're like, "All right, yeah." I'm like, "Scott trigger, cool. I'll make a mana. I'm gonna mental misstep my Worldly Tutor, make another mana, and at this point I had 5 mana. I was like, all right, here's a Nas, and they're like, what?
By
Like,
the way,
off of
Scott
one
Trigger off
treasure.
Nas.
Yeah, Scott trigger off Nas, and they're like, oh no, we're just like, we're definitely losing.
Yeah. It's so good. There's not a little goblin boy in here yet. It's probably not in Moxfield.
It's
Austin,
it
have you
is.
done the thing where you have a Ska and then like there's a Thassa or something on the stack and you swat the Thassa trigger?
I have not
Yeah,
yet.
because you can squat anything is a legal
Yeah.
target. Whether it does anything or not is, questionable, but
That's
yeah.
so funny.
I have not, but that is funny as shit.
all right. Moving on, we've got another Reddit thread. This was just kind of strangely timed. I wonder if someone like saw some of the content and stuff that was being put out, but this person was asking, is Shorekai any good in cEDH? And they said they tried other things like Glarb, Niv Mizzet, and maybe there's some similarities there with like the control and whatnot. And then, yeah, people answered, and the first answer is not really. Control as an archetype is bad. How do you guys feel about that?
So this
Okay.
comes from go ahead, Austin.
I kind of agree with the statement that control is a bad archetype in our format. But I think that control players that play control decks are incredibly dangerous. Does that make sense? Like not everyone has the capacity to be the villain at the table.
Austin, could you look me in the face and tell me that control is bad?
I
Like-
think
like-
that if you
like
put control
seriously,
in
like
like
without-
most people's hands, I think control is
No,
bad.
but I mean, to me specifically.
No. It's like the same thing as if you put a control deck in my hands. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna cook a lot of people with it, right?
I mean, that's how you and I became friends.
yeah. Like we played Glarb.
Yeah. I was like,
And I
dude,
was
this
like-
deck is sick. You're like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's really fun. But I do think that like if you were to put a control deck in a lot of different people's hands, like they would not enjoy it as much as if they were playing a mid-range deck or something along those lines. But again, if you put it into a control player hands, into like a natural control player's hands, it's a really, really scary archetype.
I mean, just look at all these takes, though. Like, you can't play control as a main shell. Wrong.
Yeah, that's not correct.
So
Like wrong side is a control deck, right? Like
yeah, and it's a very good one. I think
Yeah.
probably the highest win percentage I've had on any deck was wrong, and that's like higher than farm even for me.
Also, we can't discount Maddie and Sky just cooking people on control farm.
Or even Matt Hayes with his special trick bind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Like Matt is on a control farm list. Like
Sure.
So
I think these
I
takes are pretty
actually
crazy.
I agree with this Reddit poster. Matt Hayes' control deck is bad.
Yeah, true.
I'm just
There's
kidding.
better versions of his deck, but with Matt Hayes playing it, it seems good.
With less trick bind, yeah.
so the whole like control doesn't work in cEDH argument comes from like the game theory perspective that to stop one player you have to go down on a resource, which then enables the other 2 players who aren't going down on resources to win the game. And that is assuming that we are playing in Japan where you can't speak to the people that you're playing to.
Or we're playing in a vacuum.
Yeah, and it's just not reality. Like
Well, and
Is-
also, sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
no, you're fine. It's just the final point on that is like control to someone who is not willing to embrace every aspect of what it takes to be a good control pilot is a terrible archetype. But in the hands of someone who is willing and capable of exercising that archetype, it's extraordinarily powerful.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing that I've been saying with like stacks, right? Where like it is just an incredibly steep hill to climb to learn
Yeah.
to be this player and be good at this archetype, it's a lot more work to do than you have to do to play a Tali, right? But like the work that you put into it is like incredibly rewarding. Also, like that whole like one for oneing thing is like not necessarily even true, right?
Yeah.
Like a damping sphere just hoses most decks at the table. Or like a Grand Arbiter, you're just like, yeah, cool. Like none of you guys can win the game now. Like, deal with this first, and then we'll have a conversation. And so like that whole like one for one argument, like that is exactly what counterspells are, 100%. I get it, but like that's assuming that you don't have a draw engine in play. That's assuming that you're only playing counterspells instead of like light stacks pieces or taxes. Like it is a very not well thought out thought process to say that the archetype is like not good in everyone's hands.
Also, Stephen Conrad with the based opinion here.
Yeah, I mean, like it's definitely viable. I mean, I have not lost a tournament game on the deck. Yes, I played it at the Fringe Fest. I also played it at Locals. Didn't lose any games there. Tim absolutely rolled his Locals with it.
Yep.
He went 4-0-1, which is
on a deck that can't win, dude.
21 points in Swiss is what he had.
That's fucked up.
Sorry, he went 5-0-1 because he won top 4 as well.
That's crazy.
And yeah, the good pilot is key, but that doesn't mean that like the archetype is dead or bad. And that's just not true.
It's just hard.
It is hard, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things that are hard.
Being something that's hard does not mean it's not viable, right?
Yep.
And I've been making that argument for months about a lot of different archetypes that are not seen very much.
Like in the current meta, he's actually quite slow in terms of combat, etc. What are we even talking about?
Also, bro, don't gender the robot.
True.
True.
The Clanka.
What are we even talking about? This is not.
It's just inaccurate.
And then someone shouts out like, "Yeah, I won a tournament with it." And then the problem is like, oh, it pretty much tells you it's only a fringe tournament.
As a control deck, it's awful. I'm sorry, what?
Humility is good in it. No, actually, all the best win cons are creatures, so we can't play humility.
Yep.
If you want to just play random stacks like win conless, yes, that's what you play.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think you said this in the video with Tim, right? Which will be out soon for non-patrons. But people say that, Azor, like blue-white control can't win the game, and it's because people play Azoria shells without win cons. Like, you need to play versions of the deck that can still win the game, and then you can, in fact, win the game.
It's the same thing like with the argument with like Esper is like, oh, it's only win con is like Thassa's decon. It's like, yeah, if that's all you put in the deck, like that makes sense.
Bro, play Tivit. It's great.
Play Tivit, play Talion, don't play Master Keys.
I mean, I was gonna say this year, but you know what? We're in 2026 now. At Snowy Summit last year, I played nearly win conless Glarb.
Yeah. Truly win conless Glarb.
I played Thassa, Decon, and Tainted Pact, and
Scheming
everyone's
Oppo.
like, is that it? And I was like, well, I have Scheming Oppo. And they're like, yeah, but that's bad. And I like won no fewer than 2 games with that.
And meme bet. You had meme bet.
Sure, but it's
it's
getting kind of thin when it gets to that point. But
our in league chat today, Josh was getting like absolutely roasted for his TIM list.
Which is crazy. He is the most winning TIM pilot all of last year, and it's not close.
That's the thing is like, just as like a brief aside about quote unquote conventional wisdom on a deck or on an archetype, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
And also like sometimes it's just flat out wrong, and you need to be willing to make choices that go against the grain, but fit your play style as a player, and you can do phenomenally with it. And that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, and Tim and I have put a lot of work into this deck, and we've ended up somewhere totally different than where the deck was before.
It's so cool.
And it feels great. So I reject the reality in which control is bad. And honestly, like the control parts of this deck are like the least cool parts. I think that there's so many other things that this deck can do. And it's a shame that the view of cEDH in general is that like, well, if you're not playing the meta, then, you can't win. But we've seen so many tournaments last year where a non-meta deck has walked away with a win.
Well, and like that's how a deck becomes meta. If we were talking about this like format pre-Fishbowl 5, right? Like Rogthras was a joke. And those cards were in the format for a year before people were like, yeah, I'm just going to start cooking on this deck.
You mean people like Pigeon?
Yeah, as in Pigeon and Sam Black and
Sure.
Snaz. And like you're like, oh, okay, like, oh wait, this is a real deck. These are all three very good players and they believe in it. And then you saw other people pick it up and the deck is meta, right?
Or Wrong Side. Wrong Side didn't exist earlier last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Marnius too, right? Like no one was doing what Tim did with Marnius.
I mean, still no one is doing what Tim did with
There's
Marnius.
one other person that's doing okay with it.
Yeah.
But all that to say, keep an open mind about the decks and about meta and just to an extent play what you want to play, but do your research, do the work, put in the effort to build the deck and learn the deck. And I promise on most decks, you will see success with it. And if you're a good enough player, you can start winning tournaments with your, air quotes, crappy deck.
I think that it's a really good lesson for people to take is like, and I'm by no means am I saying start with a fringe deck, right? Like learn the format first, right? Learn what you're getting yourself into and then start tinkering. But if you truly do think that a deck has legs, then like dedicate yourself to it. We are seeing it with Logan Shorkai and Tim on Shorkai. We saw it with Tim on Marnius. We saw it with Notorious and Tyler on Arkham, right? Like there's these decks that are like quote unquote fringe that like if you put the work in, the deck is terrifying, right?
Dude, I mean, Kellen on Tim Nadargo, right?
It's
Everyone thought that deck was
100%.
dead, and then just took down every major event last year. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
Tell me how Anthony's ranked like 20 on Nick Visit and Rowan.
And Rowan.
Yeah, exactly. So like saying that like these decks, these like fringe decks are unviable is just false. If you can make strong cards stronger with whatever you're trying to do, like it's viable. It 100% will work if you put the work in.
With Sylvan for the first time at locals.
Oh yeah, you probably got cooked.
Well, luckily I had Tyler in the pod with me, so Tyler could explain what I had to be scared of.
Oh, okay. You got lucky.
But I was like, what the fuck is happening?
You had the mono blue specialist and the mono green specialist in your pod.
Yep.
It was crazy though. And that deck, like we played a fun game after because that was the game we lost to Ral. But the stuff that mono green was able to do was like actually absurd.
That Silvalo push turn 3 is always very scary, and it's usually only creatures.
Yep.
You're lucky if he doesn't have, or if they don't have a Dreadnought in hand and they need to tutor it because you have a piece of interaction for it.
Dude, the monkey that just gets to be 9/9 with no triggers on the stack. It's like, what do you mean it just is giant?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
crazy.
big.
Yep. I just like the first like few times that I played against Sylvan, they like put a creature tutor in for like 1 and you're like, oh, you're getting a dork. And you're just like, nope, we're losing now. It's a Dreadnought and they have 13 mana and have drawn cards.
Yeah, I mean, to jump off of this is right when Tim is taking it to his tournament. And I'm like, you guys better watch out. Like this deck is broken. It's not. It's really good. Okay, it's not like broken like and it's not Kinnan broken or Blue Farm broken, but I think it's an A- tier deck, and it's real close to having something really really special.
Dude,
and of course,
I can't believe he posted a hard R on his Twitter though.
Dude, the clanker,
dude. I can't believe he clankered, bro.
Dude, I asked for help in one of our channels earlier today. I'm like, what is a clanker? Does it mean affinity for robots?
No. And that actually is a good lead off into our next tool that we want to talk about, which is Eldrazi.dev's Mulligan tool.
Yeah. There's been a lot of work being put into this thing, and it is consistently getting updates. I think that they are putting something that's very good out there.
It's special, for sure.
For the people that are using Moxfield, like playtester, just stop and use this instead, because this thing is that, but 1,000 times better.
Dude, it's so good, right? You can save puzzles to share with people, which are just like both fun, but they also have giveaways running for them. You can do simulated pods with turn orders, so you like know what to mulligan for. They have
There's
the
a
ability to like,
hypergeometric calculator built
yeah,
in.
dude. You can say like, hey, I want my wrist stick to draw like a high percentage of cards versus like a low resource percentage of cards, and
Yep.
like simulate those different types of game environments. Like it's insane.
You can, first of all, there's a really good episode of Bite Sized MTG that goes like over this with the
Oh, yeah.
Eldrazi.dev.
Just added 3 random threats.
Yeah. So like you can just like, oh hey, I want to simulate a pod where there's 3 Ristic Studies and 2 Smothering Tithes, and be like, how do I push through this? And you're like,
Oh, look,
like you'll end up getting probabilities of someone drawing a counterspell from their deck, and you're just like, oh, this is just insane. Like it's such a good tool. It is amazing for learning how to goldfish your deck. This is the gold standard of goldfishing at this point.
and it automatically comes with a pod for you. Mold, they're going to 7. Norman Osborn's kept first 7. I'm, it's saying here's your chance to draw a land based on your, which is like, I have a lot of lands here, but I'm C3. Hell yeah, I'm keeping this. I've got Gemstone.
Esper, Mana Vault. Yeah, dude.
I can seal
You
someone's.
can untap your Shorekai. Oh my god, I just realized Manamo is like really good.
I'm telling you, there's something with this deck, and like people are just sleeping on like a lot
Yeah.
of the quiet stuff here. Yeah, it's
Also
is-
not
is a
just like
keeper.
it's not just generating like people's hands like from the pod just like randomly. It's taking play nice like kept hands from winning games
That's crazy, bro.
that people have like input, and that's like, oh, that's what they've kept to try to win the game with it.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
mean-
like, that's cool. That's really, really cool.
This is an interesting sample hand. It's 2 mana, which means Norman, and you have Force of Will, Pact, and Mental. It's kind of crazy.
Maybe the thinking is backside of Fergie. I don't know.
No,
it's just
I mean,
it's all
it's
the
just-
discard stuff, right?
I think it's just
like,
cast Norman.
It's cast
Yeah.
Norman, grab wheel, right? Like, or
Oh.
start wheeling. Yeah.
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 Sure.
But the tool is incredibly impressive. It's got a lot of different things that you can add and work with. It saves your decks. You can change them on the fly. All different kinds of stuff like adding tokens and
amazing.
mana and
Yep.
The fact that it tracks floating mana is just like,
I mean,
Okay.
Moxfield also can, but it's just really bad.
but it's not
really bad.
Storm Count is really nice.
I like that there's a restart or a reset, and then there's also, if you hit M, you can mulligan. Like, I don't know why I would mulligan that hand, but
Sure.
if I wanted to go second 7, and there's also like discard random, or you can just I got wheeled, and then there's a wheel button.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Also, if you like have any suggestions about what you want in this app or this like program, like hit them up on Twitter because they're extremely accessible.
Yep.
They hang out in our Discord.
Yeah.
They're also doing a giveaway for some free league passes in their Discord to our league.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you want to sign up for that, just join their Discord and click the button. Cool. All right. We've got a ton of new cards to go over. We're going to try to rapid fire some of these. These are all from the new set. What is this new set called again?
Lorwyn
Eclipsed.
Eclipsed. It's like
Yeah.
Lorwyn and Shadowmoor are meeting for some reason. I read some of the lore, but
Wait, meetings for it's the same place, dude.
see, I don't know.
Aren't they like
Oh.
different parts of the same place?
No. So how Lorwyn like lore works is that it's basically day and night cycle, and how it works is like during the day everyone is like all happy and cheery and like they're good versions of themselves, and then at night, and it's not exactly day and night, but essentially during one part of their cycle it's day, during one part of their cycle it's night.
Gotcha.
And in the nighttime, like everyone's like a little bit more vicious and a little bit more scary, essentially. But Una, the Queen of the Fae, has like forced the Lorwyn day cycle to be like stuck in day for like thousands of years, and then they got stuck in the Shadowmoor cycle for thousands of years, and like now we're just getting out of the Shadowmoor cycle, apparently.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
That is interesting. This card is like probably playable in some Thrasios decks.
Do you want
It's
to read
just
the
a-
card?
Yeah, it's Dundalin Weaver. It's a Kithkin Druid. It's 2/1. When it enters, if you control 3 or more creatures, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. In Rogthras in particular, right, when this enters, you have Rog and Thrasios, so you just get your Eternal Witness, like guaranteed, basically.
Yeah. It's not exactly Eternal Witness, but it is 1 less mana. It's a creature that stays on the board for your Cradle count. I don't necessarily know if it will see play, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets tested in certain decks. Again,
Yep.
I know that the Thrasios decks are a little tight right now just because of how much quality they're getting from everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if this card sees a little bit of testing.
Like maybe a Lumra card if you've like milled something you care about.
Oh, sure. Lumra rarely does have this. I guess they
know,
do
I
have enough
was-
creatures.
Yeah.
I think the most
Interesting.
interesting thing about it is the casting cost is 1 and a green instead of 1 green.
Yeah. The fact that it only hits a permanent does make it like a little bit less interesting than Eternal
I
Witness.
mean, you can't snap chain it, right?
You can't snap chain it, but a 2 mana like return permanent to hand is like
It's pretty
it's
good. It's
Yeah,
not bad.
It's
You know,
decent.
not a bad rate.
I mean, if your
Right.
Cradle gets Besaged or something, like, man, it's fine.
Oh boy. Or strip mine. I'm thinking about running strip mine. I want to strip mine and lock people in cEDH.
The dream.
We've got Marlin Fey Ascendant. This is 2 and Sultai, so 5 mana.
Mhm.
It is a elf fairy noble, flying 4/5. When it or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among cards exiled with Marlin this turn without paying its mana cost.
Mhm.
So does this ignore timing restrictions on the exiled cards? I don't think it does.
I don't know.
I don't think it does. I don't think
Yeah,
it
I don't
does
think it does
ignore
either.
timing restrictions, but I mean, you can get some counter spells, if you
Yeah.
get
You can flash in a fairy and steal someone's top deck tutor. That's kind
Fairy
of fun.
Mastermind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spell stutter sprite to get your top deck tutor. You're like, that's just rude.
One thing I was reading about this card was that it cares about elves and fairies, and
Yeah.
itself is an elf and a fairy.
Yeah.
So if this works correctly, then it's 2 mana value minimum.
Yeah, I think what's really, really interesting about this card is, I mean, it's like a Sultai. It can kind of draw cards. Like it gives you some sort of card advantage. So it's not just like a completely useless card in the command zone, but it's also a food chain outlet, right? Like this thing
Yeah.
does just food chain everyone's deck apart, and then it actually you get to cast every single one of their cards because Marlin would be a new Marlin, so it's not like once per turn at that point.
But it's still only if you control Marlin, though. It's still only 2 mana value 2 or less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
that's true.
But
From
you're gonna
among
strip their
cards
Authorical, right?
exiled with Marilyn. Yeah.
Yeah,
People
but
strip
there's
their
so even
Authorical
if
of
this
their
thing gets
breeze.
exiled, I think you can still play those cards once per turn or once each turn.
Uh,
So you just like if you exile everyone's library, then you should be able to like Lotus Petal, Thoracle, right?
Yeah.
I think Marlin has to be on the field.
I don't
It doesn't.
From-
It doesn't mark the number of elves and fairies you have on the card.
it would be like the last known information, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it just counts current, which is not a big deal in food chain loops because you just end with this on the field, right?
Yeah. But it's a food chain deck, right? Where you can just like you exile everyone's library and then pass the turn, they all die.
So you're
Which,
telling me
you know-
Ukuma and Kazur are dead, which is
It's just
like,
a strictly better Ukuma and Kazur.
Yeah. The fact that this does target is also kind of a problem though, just because of like one ring protection.
Sure.
But I think
I don't think
Sultai,
many
like
people are
Sultai
playing
being
One
like
Ring right
the
now.
the facto food chain colors, I think is kind of cool.
I think it will see play, right?
Yeah.
5 mana is kind of steep, but it's an interesting effect that we don't really have in this way.
this is the weirdest Ragavan I've ever seen.
I also think like giving more reason for you to like play your Elves of Deep Shadow on turn 3 after this is down is like
Sure.
pretty fine, right? Like finding an elf or your Llanowar elves or any of the like random like I don't know if you like want to like fully develop into like elves and fairies in this deck, but I do think that like getting just a little bit of extra value from some of those cards is worth looking at.
Yeah, is it? I don't think this is true, but is it like Secret Commander Lathril? It's just like Elf Ball, exile everyone's everything.
No. It can't be. There I mean maybe. Like that sounds bracket 4 shit, but
Yeah,
is there
for
any
sure.
way to make is there any way to make tokens that are like relevant?
Bitter Blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but I mean
Blitter
like
Blossom Bearer. There's
emphasis on the
definitely
word
an elf
relevant.
token.
Wait, hold on. There's a counter spell that makes a bunch
Yeah,
of
it's
fairy tokens.
Gwen Elentra's answer, dude.
No. True. No, I think there is like a counter spell that like makes fairies for the converted mana cost of like the card that you countered. I don't know what it does, but I think that's like interesting. I think it's a bad counter spell, but
I mean, no, Lathrill's bad, but deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens, so you exile 4 cards at minimum off of someone.
yeah. I mean,
It's
like,
like,
dude, there's
fine.
definitely something there, right? I mean, I guess it just being like a food chain, like kind of control deck, like with some random elf fairy synergy is like not the worst thing in the world.
So next we have whatever this card is.
It's-
Austin, do you want to
this
read
is
out this one?
Yeah, the card's called Mirror Form. It's 4 and 2 blue for an instant that says each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent, which basically says turn everything into a Rhystic Study.
Wait, why has no one talked about you can flash this in response to a wheel and copy a Smothering Tithe and just have
Oh
37 tithes?
God.
You have
And-
to control it though.
Oh, sure.
So someone's probably not wheeling into your tithe.
Fair.
That's true.
Unless you're and even if you're wheeling into your tithe, you probably don't need more mana.
Yeah, the other part of this card is that it's not just until the end of turn. Like it's just
all
these
that.
are-
Yeah.
these are permanent changes, which is pretty wild.
I mean,
I-
it does
I-
have some side effects. Like, you obviously don't want to turn your Kinnan into a Rhystic Study, probably.
There are some
Yeah.
negative side effects to this potentially, right?
Please contact your doctor if you can't big flips anymore.
Dude, could you imagine doing this with like turning everything into a Displacer Kitten? And then you could like cast a spell and you flicker all the things that you don't want to be Displacer Kittens
I was
anymore.
just about to say that.
like
Because I'm
Yeah.
playing Displacer Kitten right now in a deck, obviously, and that seems like a pretty good interaction.
that's kind of it's pretty gas. It's pretty gas. Realistically, I have no idea if this card's seeing play, but
What if
You
you
were-
have a Karnstruct and then you have a lot of treasures and all of a sudden
Oh.
you animate this giant army and just
Oh
kill
my
everyone?
God.
Dude, you can also do some like stupid OBM shit with this.
Oh yeah.
Oh
There's-
no.
Yeah.
Some like really weird things you can do with this card.
Yeah.
I think it's adequately costed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this thing was cheaper, I would be very concerned.
It's a blue card for sure, and I'm glad to an extent that it's blue, but I feel like it would almost be safer in another color. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This feels like an Urza card to me. There's probably some weird.
Oh, for sure it's an Urza card.
Yeah.
It does something
I
with
could
it.
see
I don't
that.
know what it does, but it does something.
It does
I could see
something.
that.
Eisenherz, what does this do?
Please tell us.
True. But yeah, I don't know. I think this card's like very, very fun and interesting.
It's
Yeah.
I also
interesting.
really like the art.
Yeah, same.
It's like the coolest casual card, and then there's gonna be some weird cEDH stuff with it, and that's kind of like the
Mhm.
best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It also just like it screams like a card that might be broken like 4 years from now. Like
You
if
Could
we
have,
just get
like,
dude, you know what's gonna be insane is like when we get an Academy unban and you're just like, oh fuck. And like this card's just like, oh, everyone can run it. And we're like, oh, this is like the worst the worst stories.
you
Thank
could
God there's not that many blue rituals, and by that many I mean 0.
There's offer.
True.
you could randomly have like 12 breaches, I guess.
That's true.
Like it does a lot of really stupid stuff.
That's the problem though, is that it turns everything
Yeah.
into it, and it just is that now. So like you
Yeah.
have to get over that hump of I mean, if everything looks like an LED, like that's fine, right? But like you better have a way to get your breach back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
we know what's interesting though is your permanents can target something you don't control, right? So you control
Yes.
the non-land permanents, but you can target any non-aura permanent.
Yeah.
That's way better.
That's way better.
yeah. Yeah. It does just turn every permanent you have into a Rhystic Study in most games, right?
Wait, turn every permanent you control into 12 Thoracles, Devotions 20.
No, it's an ETB. It's an ETB. So it doesn't
Oh,
work.
I guess that's true.
Wait, they all they don't need to be.
Yeah.
We're gonna think about this for way too long now.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, we broke mirror form.
Mirror form.
Yeah, caught. Also, I just imagine a world where this gets commandeered.
The worst world is when
Flare
a Kennen twin casts this bitch, and you're like, oh.
There's probably some really, really messed up stuff that you can do with this, and it probably has something to do with like the commander. I wonder if there's weird like blue Dargo things you can do.
I was just thinking that.
Oh no.
There definitely is. I don't know what it is yet, but there is.
Because like you send all of your stuff to Yard, and then like I don't know.
They become a copy, so they gain the mana value, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess your greater good becomes a Dargo. I was gonna say greater good your entire deck away pretty easily.
No, you'd have to have like another creature, right?
Yeah, you'd have like
they'll
multiple
all like
Dorksters.
state-based legend rule die.
I guess that's true, right? It doesn't have anything about that.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, Mirror Form is a card that will see play somehow. How? We're not sure.
Yep.
And then the funny thing about this card was, if I can click the right button, Spooky tweeted this. Oh, this is going to go so hard, which is like, obviously you're going to copy Rhystic Study, right?
Yeah.
Which is assembling a very strange ad nauseum. And then
whenever someone casts a spell, ad nauseum.
Yeah. And then I said, this shit is definitely eating a ban after this.
Yeah, dude.
We just can't let Wizards employees play in that game, dude.
Yeah. This is even comedians like oh no, this targets too.
Yeah.
You can get swatted. This is terrible.
It can get swatted. You could just randomly have like 37 foods without a Cabbage Man.
Dude, that's so funny. No, when Cabbage Man becomes a food because of it, dude.
No, you just get 37 Mox Opals and they all die.
Oh no.
Oh, that's really rough.
Yeah, dude, that's rough, buddy.
Speaking of strange counterspells, Glenn
Dude,
Elender's
this card's gonna
answer.
break the format, bro.
This card broke Twitter today, bro, is what this card did.
Yeah. This is a 2 blue instant. This spell can't be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control and all abilities your opponents control. Create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying for each spell and ability countered this way.
So it's 2 blue, 2, which is like miserable. It's a very powerful effect.
This is the casting cost of Sudden Sub.
Yeah.
Which did see play.
In
a little bit of play.
In Pigeon's Rock Dress list.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think they're even still on it.
They're not. But dude, I mean, like, it's not irrelevant, right? If you're in a big mana deck that cares about Cradle and you time this right, you just win the game.
Yeah.
Or you just play on top of it and you're like, okay,
sure.
dumbass, you spent 4 mana on this. And
which is exactly what my response was, is that this card's just never resolving, right?
Is this person related to Rebecca Gay? The artist?
Sam Gay? Probably.
Interesting.
Is it? Let's see.
Well, yeah, I think the spell obviously has a very powerful effect. It can't be swatted because it doesn't target anything, but it can be commandeered, and that means that commandeer stonks are going up.
Yeah. I think the card might see some play in some decks. Maybe.
It can also be flare duped.
Yeah. There is no relation, but Rebecca was her mentor, which is kind of a crazy coincidence.
Huh.
Wait, what? That's wild.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search on that one.
Huh.
Interesting.
I think it will get tested. I think people will see that 4 mana is too steep for what it does.
Agreed.
But this art's sick, though.
God, all of the special treatment art is so good
really
in this
nice.
set. It's so good.
Moving on to Omni Changeling.
This becomes an otter and a bird for some reason. So it is super relevant for Flood Caller Enduring Vitality things.
I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm kind of scratching my head as to, okay.
2 blue and 3 with Changeling. It has Convoke, and you can have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it has Changeling. So it does do some kind of crazy stuff.
This is a Rogthras card through and through.
Oh, yeah.
100%. It does everything Rogthras wants to do.
And
right?
Kinnan.
You clone.
I don't know if Kennen will play this.
Really?
I don't know if Kennen plays this. I do know Rogthras plays this. Like 100% Rogthras plays this.
I mean, the kind of nice thing is it's also not a creature you control, right? It's just any creature, which is kind of relevant.
But I mean, this reads just like as the cheapest clone that we can possibly have at this point. like in a lot of decks.
It's flesh duplicate, basically, right?
Yeah.
But with upside.
Yep.
I mean, if you have blue creatures, it could be cheaper than flesh dupe.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
I think it's good.
I mean, Thrasios can help pay for a blue. This is
Yeah,
really
I think this
cool.
card will see play for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and like you're exactly right on the casting costs. They made it +1 over Metamorph and over Clever Impersonator, and they're kind of rounding out the clone. You know, it's not a cycle, but like they're rounding out the clones where they're making this one potentially cost less, but also its baseline is it costs more.
I'm gonna be playing this in my LobbyCon Helga deck.
Oh, sure. It also triggers Helga for some reason. Yeah.
Triggers Helga.
Wait, this is a Glarb card.
Oh,
This-
sure.
Is a Glarb card. Yeah, you're not wrong by that.
You can cast it off top and you can convoke it. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Decent.
Glarb is a very good Flood Caller deck, and this card is very good with said card.
Yep.
yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Dude, you can make that a Badgermole.
Yeah.
You can do some cool stuff.
Neat.
So I put this card on here. I don't know if this will ever even see testing, but it is a unwelcome sprite. It has 2 mana, 1 and a blue. It has flying, and then whenever you cast a spell on an opponent's turn, surveil 2. And it's a 2/1. So in certain control shells, they might want to look at a card like this if you're like willing to be casting spells on opponent's turns. Jordan mentioned Katara.
Yeah, mono blue Katara, because she also cares about casting on opponents' turns.
Yeah. I also think like this is not a bad Tymna attacker. Like it feels a breach if you're like looking for the control blue farm shell.
It's kind of close for
maybe?
Talion.
Yeah.
It's like it really is not the worst card in the world. It does provide value.
They should have made this a single blue 1/1 with the
Oh,
same
it'd be
text.
so good. It would be so
Blue
good.
DRC, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and like
Or at least testable.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's
I think
interesting.
if you're like really trying to like dig into that surveil, like this is a card that you might want to look at. So I just wanted to shout it out.
Yep.
Yishtola maybe plays this.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
any control that could reasonably play it.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you ask Reddit, bro, this is top 5 deck in the format.
What? Like, huh? I think it will be played. It's the Reaper King no more. The Reaper King used to be a 5 color.
Yeah.
What was a 5 color 10 mana commander or something?
It was a 5 mana, so every mana pip could also be paid with 2 generic.
Yeah, so like, but it was 10 mana though, right?
It was a 10 mana card, yes.
Yeah.
The Reaper King No More, when it enters, you put a -1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with -1/1 counter on it dies, you may put that card onto the battlefield under your control. Do this only once each turn, and it's a 3/3. So the idea with this card, it is Jund, but it's also a hybrid pip. So it can be paid with 6 mana, and any of the other ways. The reason to talk about this card is that it's a Jund commander that can creature tutor or like Eldritch Evolution or pod into a Hulk, which is a thing that people want to do.
For potentially 3 mana. Right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
potentially 3 mana. It also does just like kill off an Esper Sentinel and a Birds of Paradise, and then you reanimate their Esper Sentinel, and that's kind of cool.
So I played a Massacre Girl Known Killer casual deck for a long time, which is like creatures you control have Wither, cares about -1 counters. It's brutal. This is like a really oppressive casual commander, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Hulk stuff is interesting. The like randomly getting an Esper Sentinel is interesting.
I also think
don't
like
know.
this is like oddly, it is in certain ways. This can also be a food chain outlet with if there's certain creatures in play. So if there's an OBM in play, then you can keep killing the OBM and pinging someone. Or no.
No, you
You
can't.
basically no, you can't do that. But you can just steal everyone's creatures.
They've
right?
templated the card in such a way where you're very limited on what this can do as far as like combo outlet and stuff. It does kind of have that Dargo syndrome of you can cast me for cheap, but also I'm expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you can
that's
like
interesting.
greater good it for a lot of cards. You can
Well, 7 minus 3, right? So like net 4.
Yeah. You can also like sacrifice it for 6 mana. Like there are some things about this card that are interesting.
But they elected to not put Titan text on the card. So it's not ETBs or attacks.
Correct.
And that is probably what's keeping it from doing anything really in our format.
I agree. Yeah, I just like the card, just I don't know, for reasons. I think like that it has some interesting concepts to it. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be very good, but I mean Jund is looking for some types of things, right? And this is value in the command zone in Jund.
God, if this were Esper, I would be.
Oh my god. Oh my god, in Esper.
Yeah, bro.
It would be really scary. I also do like just shouting out because the original Reaper King, I love it's like flavor text is like some of my favorite flavor text of all time. It just says it's harvesting time, and I love that. But talk about an oppressive casual commander, that was it.
This deck like kind of gets to what you and Tim were talking about, Logan, where it's like Jund in 60 card is usually a foil to blue-white control. Like it is also a control deck, which is not something that we see in Jund commander decks. And it has control aspects to it, but I don't know that they are powerful enough to make a huge difference.
You would have to like enchant your OBM or your Mayhem Devil with the creatures deal like damage in the form of Wither.
Oh
yeah, sure.
To like make this somewhat viable.
But it's like that's just bracket 4, right? I don't know. I think like what we will see is someone sacrificing this for 6 mana, right? Like
this is a hateful and oppressive card in anything but bracket 5.
Yeah. I do think that just stealing an Esper Sentinel is good.
Yeah, it's 3 mana steal an Esper Sentinel, which is like okay, I guess.
It also like right now in our format, like minus blue farm, people do care about their creatures a lot. Like being able to just like kind of steal them whenever you want to is not the worst thing in the world. Like
it's not whatever you want to, because they have to have 1 toughness.
Yeah.
Realistically, and also it sets sorcery speed on your turn, and you're not probably doing a whole lot else with your turn if you're casting
this. No, you just need to put a 1/1 counter on it,
right?
Yeah,
so
but you have to run other
proliferate
cards
effect,
that put -1/-1 counters on things. And like, what cards do we run in our format that do that?
Yawgmoth basically is the only one.
Gwenem Staple Black Sun Zenith, bro.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next one. Speaking of cards that will be run in our format, we have whatever this thing is.
Is it time to read the definition of a squelch?
Yeah.
You just got that on tap.
I'm about to. It is the soft sucking sound, such as that made by walking heavily through mud.
And that's what this card's gonna do to people.
Mac and cheese is what that good blank sounds like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're talking about Hexing Squelcher. It's 1 and a red. For Goblin 2/2.
Wait, hold on. I gotta read. Let me read the text box. Cavern of Souls on Goblin. Ward pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. Other things have ward paid 2 life.
Yeah.
Surprised that a 2-mana Goblin has an impact on our format once again.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd be here so quickly and not in this way.
I didn't think you would make no treasures. This card is obscene. There's been a lot of conversation about this card, about the good and the bad things about this thing. We've asked Wizards to print us more ways to actually win the game, and that is exactly what this card does. But I don't like how it does it. That's my opinion. The fact that this thing is uncounterable is the biggest problem about this card, and it's not even close. If this card could be countered, I would have no problem with it. But the fact that it has Cavern of Souls stapled onto it is not okay.
I also have a problem that it's 1 and a red and not red.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
This is the definition
pushed.
of a pushed card.
I was tweeting back and forth with Rebel about this briefly because she was like, I don't really see why this card is a problem, but I'm also washed, so can someone like explain it to me?
Yeah.
And she was like, Defense Grid and Spider-Punk are things and no one cares about those. I'm like, that's because those cards have downsides. Like Defense Grid Pass has a real problem attached to it. And she just retweeted in all caps. It says spells you control.
Yeah.
I'm like, now you see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because if it like the play pattern that we've talked about with like Abolisher, Defense Grid, and all that stuff, and why we like Orange Chant is if it's Defense Grid, anybody have a counterspell? No, but I have the silence, then that's causing a problem, right? Because you have now a Defense Grid that's staying on the field, and the next person's untapping.
Yeah, I think my big problem with this card is that there is actually no solutions to it. You can't fight it on the stack, and it's incredibly difficult to fight while it's down, because like people are like, oh yeah, you just like play, targeted removal, and you're like, yeah, but if they have a single counter spell in their hand, like they don't need it in their hand anymore. All their shit's uncounterable, so like they just defend their goblin, and then they win the game, right? Like it is. This card's incredibly problematic. My hot take is I think that this is better than Voice of Victory. It has like the downsides of Voice of Victory is that like Orange Chant, like you can Orange Chant them and you're like, okay, that's a problem for later. And you can like Orange Chant in response to this turn and they're like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like
I'm gonna test cutting Abolisher for this.
like truly I think it's reasonable.
I don't
The
think it's
biggest
correct.
problem with
I'm gonna test it there.
bro, the fact that this is also already $88 for the alt art, and it's not even like
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
the
by
alt
the
art
way,
is
it's like
stunning,
the
though.
coolest alt art of
Yeah.
all time. Like this cave painting
Bro, it's
Squelcher.
got an earring for some reason.
Dude, it's so sick. But yeah.
So there's a lot of problems with this card. Also, just like if you randomly, clearly, if this podcast isn't showing you so far this week, I'm like very green pilled at the moment, and like if you just randomly cord this into play, like you're dead
Yeah.
because everything that's on the stack locked now no longer can be countered.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's envision a scenario in which you're pushing out of your mind, all of your spells are getting countered, but you're still like playing on the stack, and then you've got a Chord of Calling, or you've got a Born Upon a Wind, and no one responds, and you go, here's my Hexing Squelcher. And then it's like, all that stuff underneath, yeah, that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless it's a Mindbreak Trap that's not being targeted by a counterspell.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, I don't like the fact that this card is essentially a way of turning off the safety valves of our entire format.
If somehow this card could say on it like this spell can't be played in decks of greater than 2 colors, cool.
Sure.
But the fact that Farm gets this, actually the thing that scares me the most is that Ral and Roxai get this. Is
Yeah.
what like actually is a problem.
And it's
I actually don't know if
Yeah.
Ral is going to play this. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Ral plays this.
dude, it
guess
lets, it lets Ral play through their Vexing Bauble.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Ral, like they actually have to spend 2 mana on this, which is like not what Ral wants to do
It
at
lets
all.
Atali play through Vexing Bauble, dude.
The Atali thing is a problem. That is
It lets-
real.
It lets Dargo play through Citadel with a bobble out,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is like pretty sick.
Yeah, this card's just so good. It's so good.
It's really, really good. And I think the one upside that we will see from this is that more people will be jamming targeted removal in their decks.
I'm going up on at least Swords in Farm before Rumble because this card's legal for Rumble.
It
right?
is,
Like
yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
see it everywhere.
I would not be surprised if people tech in Abrupt Decay.
That kind of makes sense, actually.
But you'd have to be playing green to do that.
True. But I think Abrupt Decay is a card that like might start seeing some tech pieces in. Or like in decks because it just
I played it in Glarb. Like,
Yeah.
I think you and I both played it in Glarb.
Mhm. Yeah, like just the fact that it can't be countered is going to be so helpful for killing this little stupid thing.
It's also like pseudo protection from Bowmasters for the red creature decks, which like matters. Like, yeah, 2 life is not
Yeah.
a lot, but you're
Dude.
not gonna just lose 20 life to kill my Bambi, Thrasios, and Rograk.
No,
think
you
it
just
would
kill
be
this thing
in-
first. You
I
kill
think
this
it would
thing
be
first, right?
That's fair.
I think it would be incorrect for Simic Rogthrast to not run this.
The whole
I agree.
Discord is saying we actually like you need to rebuild as at least a splash of Teamer, even if you're not going Breach because of this card.
Or
Yeah,
you
that
just have
makes
your
sense.
creature tutors to grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
or just like put a single like the Taiga in that taps for
Yep.
2.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's never going away. Dude.
Even with because I think Vibrance is next or is somewhere in here. Like Vibrance is another reason to run actual Teamer and Rogthras.
Yeah.
Like there's some
So
really interesting stuff.
One thing I think will happen is I do think that we are going to start seeing people slot in Bowmasters back into their deck, because like that is a very viable way of getting rid of this thing. Is like, oh shit, I need to feed two cards to someone so we can just kill this thing, because like it is not allowed to survive.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Or Mayhem Devil.
Yeah,
And then
I mean,
there's-
does this card actually push us further into mid-range? Like, it's obviously a turbo card, but do you need to add cards like OBM, like Mayhem Devil, like these things that deal with these problems?
I think so, because like as a mid-range deck, like your whole plan is to like, take you into the middle of the game, but like this game jams that window like open for some people.
Yeah.
And like
Dude,
the more
Rock
mid-range,
Thrash or Rock Side's like land, Rite of Flame, Squelcher, pass.
yeah,
And then it's land,
Dark Ritual Necro.
Dark Grit, Necro, full send.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's really dumb.
Yep.
This
I
is
don't-
probably like a pretty imminently. I'm also not someone who is pro banning of cards. I would not be surprised if this eats a ban in like 6 months to a year.
I think this is like, it depends on the play patterns that it like
Yeah.
starts,
Fair.
right? Like
If this
it,
isn't already on the watch list, it should be immediately
Yeah.
for the Commander format panel.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to be like a doomsayer, right? Like I really don't, but I do think that this card is better than Voice of Victory, and I think Voice of Victory is an incredibly insane card. So, like,
Yeah,
Like-
voices.
that is how high I'm regarding this card, and like for the fact that it being in red is like, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
That,
Farm
like,
getting
red
a
has an
fourth
essential, like-
silence.
Like
Yeah.
red has their Grand Abolisher, and like that's so scary.
We power craft vexing Shusher, guys.
I think that's fine.
I mean, yeah, it needed to be done right, but like, still,
Not
it
like
didn't
this.
need to be like not like this. Let's be honest. We can think about and talk about this card all day, but we're all feeling very uncomfortable with just the thought of this card being in our format, and
Yep.
that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I think like again, if this thing was able to be countered, like it just lets us retool our deck to deal with it, right?
This should be red and not say the first line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if this didn't have that first line on it, people are like, okay, I actually do need to look at Strict Serenade again, right? Like I do need to look at these like creature counter spells. Mana Drain might start getting a look. But like the fact that that first line exists is like there is no answer for it, and targeted removal is not it, right?
We were
Like,
talking about this in our group chat, and like an hour later, Jason's like, "Guys, I just woke up. Is this real?"
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah,
See, you know what's crazy though? Not to put Jason like out him for this. I messaged him immediately. I'm like, "Do you think this is good enough for Rock Thrash to be teamer?" And he's like, "Absolutely not."
and then
interesting.
Basically, it was like the synopsis was 2 mana gets Breeze Caller and you're winning anyway.
Which
Because it
I
effectively
yeah.
does the same thing at that point. But
But does Farm see it? Of course.
Farm 100% plays
Of
this.
course, Farm plays this.
so like, why are we buffing the
best deck? I
decks?
don't know.
And also, let's ask the question: what formats actually need this?
I do think that, from what I understand, like Modern and Legacy both want this card, because like the counter spells are so strong in that format. Like
Does
a
Izzet
lot
in
of
Standard need this right now?
no Standard definitely doesn't need this.
So like, if Wizards cares that much about Standard, like,
Well, let me
Why
rephrase
are you
that.
printing
Standard
this?
doesn't care about this,
Okay.
which I think is fine.
I think this card was printed for Commander, actually. And I think it's just vastly underestimated.
is this a Commander only card?
No, but I think that this is a design space that reads as like, yeah, red is the weakest color in a high power commander. We need to give them something.
I'm just gonna say it like this. I think this is poor design.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you watch like Ian's video on it, like he said this card's a mistake, and I pretty much agree with him. Again, I think that if this card's like, if the first sentence didn't exist, I think this card's perfectly fine.
Why isn't it a 2/1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't die to Bowmasters. You have
Doesn't
to pay 4
inherently die
life
to
with
Bowmasters.
Bowmasters to kill this thing.
Yeah, 10% of your life to kill this effect that should have never been printed.
Yeah.
It's really scary. This card's really, really, really crazy.
Also, Talon Gate stonks go way up.
Oh, that's actually kind of true.
yeah.
That's actually really
Like
true.
Talon Gates is a way to deal with this pretty easily.
Or like, what's it called? Touch the Spirit Realm, like channeled.
Yeah, I Touch the Spirit Realm for this is really good, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Those are
Sink into
cards that,
Stupor also really good for this.
and Subtlety.
And so like there are definitely cards that we have as answers that have been deemed like not runnable that probably can come back.
But all those answers push us into mid range.
Totally. I think
And
this
and
reads
doesn't
as a turbo card that forces us into mid range.
it reads as a turbo card that is going to be played in turbo decks, and then it forces the other decks into mid range even more, which means that our format is going back straight into hell.
We're slopping it up, boys.
We're
I
slopping
can't wait
it
to
up.
mirror
slop.
form my 7 studies, bro.
Dude, what if I
No,
had
dude,
mirror
I
form
can't wait to
hexing
mirror form my
Squelcher?
7 Squelchers. Yeah, dude.
You can never target my stuff. They all
yeah,
have
you
target,
more
you're like,
than
all right.
80
300
life.
Yeah. Ward
Yeah.
300.
Dude, okay, you know what also is going to be like really tilting is I know that this is going to start happening in a tournament is like when someone tries to like single target removal the Squelcher and they're going to be like the person's just going to say trigger and they're going to be like, yeah, I don't know, like uninformed players are just going to be like, yeah, pass on trigger, and then that spell's going to get counterspelled and judges are for sure going to get called on this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's really, really dumb.
Also, why does this card just make Tivit removable all of a sudden?
True. True.
Because Ward is a counter,
Mhm.
right? So if you're targeting Tivit with a, I don't know, Red Blast, then you don't have to pay the Ward anymore. Like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Anyway.
card's
I
dumb.
don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's all conjecture until we see it in play, which we will see in spades. But I think that it's not good.
And to talk about, like, Rebel has definitely played cEDH in the past, and she's adjacent to the format. There's other people talking about this card, and a Trinket Mage said, I see why players think this is going to be a problem in cEDH, but I think the real issue is Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle makes spot removal much worse. Without Oracle, the opportunity cost of playing spot removal over counters is much lower, allowing much more counterplay to this card. What?
This doesn't even make sense because no one's running
No.
counterspells for Oracle, right? Like it's functionally equivalent.
We run Red Blast.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's not fourth Oracle. That is a efficient counterspell and removal piece for Ristic Study.
I think Lamora's tweet is like also one of the most appropriate ones here. Is just like, yeah, I really don't see Thoracle, and if I do, I also don't care. Like I see Thoracle
Yeah.
once the game is over.
Dude,
It's
people to think that with Oracle is like the way that people win in our format just tells me immediately that they don't play tournaments. Because like Breach, like what are we talking about? Breach is just the way people win way faster.
Thoracle is often just a period to the end of the sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
dude, you can't even counter a breach with this thing out. It's so stupid.
Yeah, dude, this card's so dumb. My thing is also like they're definitely testing this effect, and because like we just got one in Spider-Man, and we are getting another one here, and like we know that Wizards' development cycle is like a 2-year cycle, so like I would not be surprised if we get more of this effect, and that's even more concerning to me.
I wonder how much as a community, like, if we just violently reject the card, obviously people will play it because they will just play whatever's good. But if we're just like, no, it needs to be banned, like how quickly something will happen about it.
I mean,
I think it would be like it's an interesting experiment, right? like
I mean,
we could,
Ian's like a Wizards ambassador, right? Like he is part of that whole thing.
Hire
Yeah.
openly has said that this card is problematic, so I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I also, dude, like we're right on the cusp of next month. I think we're getting unbans. We might even be getting some bans. Like the format's changing a lot right now.
It's really unfortunate that this type of effect comes out right before a series of large tournaments across the country.
Yeah.
And so people that are just going to buy boxes and product are going to have the card. And then there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to be able to proxy the card in time.
Yeah.
That's a very real problem in our format.
Dude, I hit up Notorious. I was like, "Are you going to Rumble? Because like you should just print out like 100 of these cards."
Can sell them for $3 a piece.
Yeah. Like you for sure would just make bank.
World's most expensive proxy doesn't matter because the card's broken and I need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Like, not that he would do that. I'm just saying it's, you
Yeah.
know.
I
Anyway.
don't know. I'm not looking forward to the first time I see one of these on the stack in
Me
a
either.
week.
Same.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of situations where the whole game goes on pause and everyone's like, we need to remove this thing right now, or we're not playing the game until this thing's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, moving on. we released a video. It was edited by our Jordan. This was me and Emily. It says me and Emily versus Lily and Jordan, but really, I mean, it's cEDH, so it's all of us fighting each other. But this was a crazy game.
Everyone fighting Lily is the TLDR of this game.
Yeah.
And the biggest sandbag that has ever sandbagged by Jordan for the first 45 minutes of the video.
I intentionally played Tivit in order to not play farm, and it would have been triple farm versus TNT. And I was like, I could just play something else. And I wasn't playing Shortcut at the time, so it was a very fun game, and we love hanging out with Jordan and Lily. They're awesome players and really great to play with.
Also, shout out their new YouTube channel, Drake Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's Drake Academy.
Yep, and it's linked in the description of this video.
Yeah.
But crazy stack, really good interactions throughout the whole game, and you can watch Damping Sphere do some work too.
Yeah, when I was editing the video, I was like, I need to put the backing track as 50 BPM wet beats to Wet Rock 2 or something like
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is pretty fun.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch the video, but I like all the players here, so I definitely will.
It was like 2.5 hours or more unedited, and it's still like over an hour after editing.
Yeah, that checks out. All 4 players just like dedicated, being like, we're going past turn 4. Like
we are talking about Croaking Counterpart. This is not exactly a new card, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eric put this in the doc because it's a card that's seeing a lot of play recently, specifically in Rockthras.
Yep.
It's really, really good.
I think people are finding out that flashback cards are powerful now that RAL exists. They're like, oh yeah, we can cast things from graveyard sometimes. Like, that's kind of good.
Dude, it's also a frog for Floodcaller.
Yeah, Croaking Counterpart is 1 green-blue for a sorcery. It says create a token that's a copy of a target non-frog creature, except for it's a 1/1 green frog, and it has flashback for 3 green-blue.
Dude, you can't make this a Glarb. That makes me sad.
I think Flash Photography might actually be better than this,
I think so.
but I can't stand looking at that card's fucking art, so I don't want to run it.
I had a conversation with someone this weekend about Flash Photography, and I was like, if I was to buy a Flash Photography, I think I would send it directly to an altarist and not ever want to see it until it was altered in my hand.
It's so bad, dude. But the card, this card's really strong, particularly for Cloud of Fairies, is where it like really shines. Because you copy your Cloud of Fairies, untap your Cradle, recopy your Cloud of Fairies, untap your, like, it's just busted.
Yeah. Interesting card. And maybe this is a Krark-Thras card.
Well, possibly.
Make copies of your
Sure.
I don't know, your coin flippers or your doublers.
There's also so many Badger Mole infinite mana lines now that just copying your Badger Mole is like also a really relevant target for this.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Hate everything about that.
Bro, tapping your land for 5 mana just off of Badger Moles is like a very fun experience.
I could imagine.
God, we thought Badger Mole was pushed, but now we have this other goblin to talk about that's like way worse.
It's
True.
so strong. It's so strong what 2 mana gets you nowadays. Like, it's
crazy.
very crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like some of the interesting cards that are coming up and the decks and stuff, but I just worry that other cards like that red one we were talking about, the golly, what is that thing called?
Hexing Squelcher.
Hexing Squelcher. I'll never remember that.
Just wait until you get squelched, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to get squelched and I'll be like, God, I can't get this thing out of my head. What we get for 2 mana now, and I just worry that it's going to homogenize the format so much because there's going to be a very specific play pattern either with it or around it.
What's interesting is we're getting these really pushed non-commanders, but then all of the pushed commanders are like 4, 5, and 6 mana.
Yeah. Do you think that's an indication that we might be getting JLo back?
I think we are getting JLo back. I feel fairly confident in that, whether it's in next month or in 6 months. I think we are.
I think JLo is inevitable.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're getting Crypt back. I don't think we get Crypt back. I don't think we should get Crypt back.
I think we should
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't here for it. So.
It's the perfect power card for our format. Yeah, it's powerful, but
yeah. It's fine.
it's fine.
I think it's like I'm agnostic when it comes to crypt. Like I think it could go, or if it could stay. Either way.
I can't wait to land Lotus Shurikai.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason I really want Lotus Petal back, because it opens up so many other commanders, and I think that's really good.
Atraxa and Talion just immediately become very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that Sultai commander we were just looking at is like way more playable with J-Lo around.
Absolutely.
Kefka even way more playable with J-Lo around.
Poor
Like,
Glarb, no advantage from J-Lo. Very
It's essentially
minimal
a Lotus
advantage,
Petal to get your Glarb out, right?
which is like
yeah.
not that good. It's not that good. Yeah, I think this set's really cool. There's a lot of cool art and just other stuff coming out from the set. I think we can go over here.
So how many cards have we gotten really spoiled yet so far? Versus
I
how
think
many?
not the whole set yet. The whole set will be done by Friday.
138 in draft, at least on Scryfall. I know there's some stuff that's outside of that.
Okay.
It seems like it should be a pretty fun draft environment, but you know, it's Commander.
Okay, you know what's crazy? You know how like have I told you guys about this like bracket 4 goblin deck that I want to build that might be cEDH viable, but it's definitely not cEDH viable?
No.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but
So I really want to build Gut True Soul Haunted one,
Oh, okay.
which is red black goblins, but it like does undying stuff, and
Mhm.
you can loop Goblin Recruiter multiple times because it keeps coming back. This set is like feasting for that deck because all of the goblins put -1/1 counters on themselves when they come in. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, it might work.
dude, we didn't even talk about all the tie-in cards. For some reason, Yam got
Oh,
like
yeah.
5 or 6 really good cards.
Yam got a
Some would
1
say we
mana.
intentionally did
6
not talk about the
counters,
time
dude.
cards.
These arts are so good, dude.
I think they'll look really good, especially in like Japanese foil. They'll look
Yeah.
even better.
I really think that a lot of the evoke elementals, we've only seen 4 of the 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Some of them have very interesting text on them. They are just like a little too expensive, but in certain decks we will see them played. Like Vibrance will see play in Rogthras.
I think Vibrance is like actually an upgrade for Rockfast. It's not just playable. I think
Well,
it's
they
really
just
good.
they can swap out Sylvan Scrying for it, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
Sylvan
and it's
Scrying
just-
with upside of that it's an outlet for Gut Shot, like the same way Gut Shot is too. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. Oh, dude, that Bloom Tender is going to be like $300 in Fracture, but it's going to be so nice.
if not more.
Yeah.
Oh, these down here? Yeah.
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 And then I think the one other thing that we didn't mention was these reversible shocklands.
Yeah, the reversible shocks are so good.
These are gonna
Oh,
be
that's
expensive.
dope. So like
Yeah.
they have the Lorwyn and the Shadowmoor versions of
Yeah.
them. That's fucking so sick.
Yeah. Those in foil are going to be like $80 cards probably.
Yeah,
Well, I think they're
that's
only doing
dope.
5, right? So there's going to be another, presumably 5 in some other set.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they're gonna do like it reversible in like right
I don't know.
because
Yeah.
like
But-
that is very thematic for this set completely. But
Yeah.
Reality Fracture, maybe.
oh, that'd be gas. That's
Yeah.
true. There's also there's like a cheaper but more expensive sneak attack in the set, which is kind of
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Meek Attack.
Yeah, it's got feet
Cheaper
on
and-
it, so
cheaper
you know.
and more expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's cheaper
There's-
to cast and more expensive to activate.
The Lava Leaper is like maybe playable in Earthcraft decks or like mono red. So whenever you tap a basic for mana, it makes double that mana instead.
Mm.
It's like kind of interesting. Wait, Badger Mole also, Jesus, is it the thing that card does?
Back to cEDH. What events are you guys going to this weekend? What are you playing?
Just Friday locals and
Yeah.
farm.
I am planning on going to Friday locals, and I will be playing Chowder. Or sorry, I'm gonna be playing Sisse.
Trads.
I'll be playing Trad Sisse. I'm gonna be tutoring up Planeswalkers. Don't worry about it. I've made a few changes to the deck. I just cut Worldly Tutor and Ignoble Hierarch for Ranger Captain and Mockingbird, mainly to combat Squelcher a little bit more, and
Yep.
or copy a Squelcher. And I also need to find a spot for Squelcher in the deck.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might run it back with Shorkai. I'm looking
Mm.
for my first tournament loss on the deck. So it might be this weekend.
I think
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a spot for Squelcher and farm. I think that's the only card I'm like interested in from Lorwyn.
I think Jason's cut was pretty reasonable. He's saying like the windfall or
Sure.
the wheel. Because like I don't know, wheels don't feel like they're necessary in farm at this point anymore.
Not really.
Wheel tithe wins though, usually,
Sure.
and
That's
like
true.
I don't know. I might go even deeper and, like I said, cut GA for it, just as a
I think
test.
it's really reasonable to cut GA because like dude, the double white pip sucks, bro. It
Yeah.
sucks so bad.
But then I can cut Cavern.
Then you can definitely cut
You don't
Cavern.
even fucking need Cavern, dude.
Yeah.
It's just on the card.
Yeah, I mean, like I could have Cavern for voice, but like I don't know, Cavern's then a bad land because I'm not running Ranger Captain either.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the cut it's definitely there's something there. But like the card's so like we're just gonna see it so often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
I'm
guess that's the story of the
gonna-
day is hexing Squelcher.
For sure. Yeah, I'm playing farm at Rumble, and then if I crash out, I'm gonna play Rock Dresden Redemption, and find a spot for Squelcher in there too.
Nice. Very cool. Anything else for the good of the order?
I don't think so. Oh. You guys
Cool.
see the butt of my dog? Yeah, dude, there he is.
What's your dog's name again?
Kai.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us. Go check out all these tournaments. Go to one of them this month if you're watching. Go to one that's closest to you or the one that interests you the most. They're all going to be great. And if not, just come play in the league. Make this month the bigger than last month, which was kind of hard to do, but it's possible,
Also,
I guess.
If you're coming to Rumble, like come say hi to us. There's like our
Yep.
whole crew is going to be there, minus Eric and maybe Logan. So yeah, come on, come say hi. So and come
I'll send
jam
some
games.
playmats if I'm not going, and we can maybe give out a playmat or something.
That'd be sick.
Cool. All right. Until next time.
Bye guys.
See ya.